Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Gym Floor. I've got Kyle with me today. Obviously, you would have seen him from, I think it was our fourth podcast that we did. He's actually coaching Jay through his preparation for his show, which is on Sunday, correct?
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
Lunchtime.
Yeah. So he's going to talk us through pretty much how he thinks Jay's going, all of that sort of thing. So, kick it off, man. How do you think he's going? How is he going?
He's good. Unfortunately struggling a lot at the moment.
Yep.
Last couple of days leading up to, I guess, making weight, which is tricky for bodybuilding because obviously the objective is to get as big as possible and be big on stage. But when you're trying to make a weight class, it does make it tricky because obviously you have to weigh in the day before. So in our circumstance, we have to kind of manage his weight because it's so close. He was actually over this morning. So we kind of have to keep him right on the edge and probably, unfortunately do some hard stuff now, like bring his food down, bring his water down, jump in the sauna, do all that, sucky stuff, just to make weight. And then we've got a little bit of wiggle room to be able to feed him back up because it's probably 24 hours before he actually, gets on stage.
Yeah, that's like a full boxing fight. Like he's going to come into the weigh-in. I picture him standing up there flexing. Yeah. Little face off.
Well, I said to him yesterday, this morning actually, I said, we might have to do the weigh-in naked, man.
Every gram's going to count.
Well, literally, he was in the sauna today and I said, take your scales, do, 10, 15 minute intervals, jump in, jump out, check your weight, and we'll kind of see how long you need to make weight. And he said, I took my undies off and it was like an extra 300 grams. I said, well, we might have to just do naked on Saturday. I'll stand there with a little towel.
That's hilarious. So what, he's full doing saunas and stuff now. So obviously you're trying to cut that water weight. Jeez, it's going to be a tough 24 hours for him. Yeah. Dehydration and shit.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just what happens. Obviously in an ideal world, I wouldn't want to do that. We'd probably want to, just get there or make weight early.
Yep.
And we can kind of relax and cruise into comp and typically I'd sort of feed someone back up into the show.
Because you didn't really have a lot of time, to give sort of context. He sort of started with 10 weeks out and usually you start, most of your clients would be 16 to 20 weeks out usually?
Yeah. I mean, look, ideally more is better.
Yeah.
So I'd almost have a prep before the prep. So you'd kind of get a gauge of someone where they're at, and get them in a good position to actually start prepping first.
Yep.
Where his was 10 weeks out, it's we just got to hit it now, which is fine, but not ideal when it gets to this sort of tricky part now where we're all right, man, sorry, it's just going to suck. We're
just going to have to pull out all the stops and see what happens.
Yeah, there's no way of getting around it.
He's looking that good, but...
Can we swear?
Yeah.
He's fucking shredded.
Yeah, he's absolutely shredded, man. Yeah. But you can see even his energy just around the gym of how much it's taken a toll on him. He's usually a super energetic, sort of bubbly type of guy, always got a smile on his face, always got time for people. Even last sort of week, he's cut back on his PTs, and I know all of his clients have been super happy with it and understanding. But yeah, you just sort of when he does come in, he's oh hey man, it's
it's a soft handshake.
Yeah, bro. It's he's just a fragile man. He still looks good, but he's just oh.
Well, I mean, look, and unless you've actually done it, you can diet and you can do a fat loss diet or whatever for a few weeks, and it's hard. But you have to be, unfortunately, a little bit sick in the head to want to push yourself that far because it's not normal.
To get to that such low body fat, it's
he's single-digit body fat now.
Yeah,
that's not normal.
Yeah,
and you have to remember as well, it's basically controlled starving.
Yeah,
and your brain's primary fuel source is glucose. When you're eating fuck all food, and him now is no carbs. Bro, your brain just doesn't work. You try and do stuff and you're oh, fuck, I can't even put a sentence together.
That's what he's been He's just so slow.
It's so
funny.
But
I'm so pumped to see him. So obviously we're in the last week now. So this is sort of what they refer to as peak week,
yep.
I'm guessing. So talk us through that. What are you looking to achieve in this week and how do you achieve it?
Yeah, I mean, I think every case is different.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously his being vastly different to how I would like to do it. But it's just one way of making it happen. I think in an ideal scenario, you'd want to be, in his case, make weight or be, significantly under that weight cap, maybe a week out, maybe a little bit more. And then we can really use that last week to kind of dissipate a lot of fatigue by deloading training, by eating, at maintenance calorie for an extended period of time to kind of refuel glycogen, to, let some physiological processes kind of relax a little bit more, and just get rid of some stress in the body. And then I think that sort of expresses your best physique on stage when you're not stressed.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people downplay how physically stressful and how physiological stressful it is to diet at that level.
That's sort of what you kind of miss is it's like a lot of people think of like environment stress, like, or external stress of like maybe job related or whatever it may be. But there's also that physiological stress of how you're talking in the way of cutting calories, like all of these things that are stress on the body, and it can all build up. And
the body kind of fights back, and that's where it's like you can push, but you also need to know when it's like, all right, we got to be careful here, because the body will just go, hey, fuck you. I'm just going to retain water and I'm dying here.
I'm dying. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to retain water because in like the body's kind of mechanism is like, hey, we're dying.
Yeah.
What's happening? I'm going to retain everything just because I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
So you kind of, it's a bit of a, balancing act, unfortunately.
It is a crazy thing. Like to think of like previous, like 100 years before this, it's like, it's been so advantageous to be able to store energy, to be able to store fluid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because before like probably the last 100 years, we're all cold and hungry. Like everyone was cold and hungry. You know what I mean? Now it's like, obviously that's changed. And now people are going back to wanting to be hungry again and like cut the body down. And it's just not a natural process, but still it's quite amazing. Obviously what you and Jay have been able to achieve. And I think he's going to come in good, man. I actually can't wait to watch him.
Yeah. Oh, I'm stoked for him. Like as hard as I literally spoke to him before we got here, I was like, I'm going to come check on you when I'm finished.
Yeah.
But like as hard as it is, as much as it sucks, I think we're all responsible for our own sort of outcomes. And I said to him, like yesterday, I was like, dude, like, unfortunately it sucks, but your mindset will, kind of dictate what outcome we get from this.
Yep.
You have to just understand it sucks, be okay with that, and know it's only for a short period of time. And once it's done, you'll look back on it and go, fuck, that was so worth it. Like I had so much fun. I looked so good, X, Y, Z. We've learned a lesson now. So let's do it a little bit better next time.
Yeah. And I definitely think those obviously talkings have rubbed off on him because he's super laser focused. Like I've never really seen him so laser focused on something. And even like we had some content sort of planned around his prep going in, and he just said to me like, look, man, like I want to just focus completely on this, which is good. You know what I mean? Like obviously from content side, it's not the best, but for him, that's what he's focused on. That's his number one goal. That's his priority. And I completely get that. And I completely encourage that because it's just awesome to see him so laser focused on something. And it's cool to just witness someone that's just balls to the wall, just going after it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you have to be like,
you do. It's a selfish sport.
Well, I think when you're, like we said before, like when you're that depleted, when you're starving, when you've got all these things that kind of accumulate over the last 10 weeks, like you only have limited amount of energy to fucking exist. So like, even for me, when I prepped last year, it was like, man, like when I was training, I didn't talk to anyone. I had my headphones on. I wore a hoodie, like, and it wasn't like I was being rude. It was just like, I'm really sorry. I know I've got to train for the next hour and I can't even fucking stand up. So talking to you is exhausting. I'm sorry.
I've got to conserve calories as best I can.
And that's kind of how it gets, unfortunately.
So obviously we're moving into this last little period right now. We're sort of 48 hours out effectively. Yeah. What's some of the craziest things that you've seen like people do in this last 48 hours of prep? Doesn't necessarily have to be like Jay or any of your previous clients, but just things that you've heard off the grapevine. You've been in the industry for a while. I'm sure you would have seen some doozies.
Yeah. Look, it's the typical like bro prep, unfortunately, that happens. I've spent so much time like consulting with, super high level coaches, really educated people, learning from those people and sort of implementing the things I learn. And you still see the crazy shit that happens. Like, you've got some bro that just preps people in the gym and do this, man, because that's what I did and that's what my cousin did. And the amount of drug abuse, the amount of like food abuse, the amount of just weird shit that happens. And one perfect example, which Jay's going to see on Sunday, is the fucked up shit people do thinking they're going to get some like incredible outcome. Like they won't be lean enough or they didn't diet hard enough or whatever. But bro, it's eating toothpaste backstage will get me shredded. That's going to dry me out. And that's not a joke.
Like actually eating? Like how much are we talking?
Like a whole tube of toothpaste.
What the fuck?
I think it was last year when I had Damo at the IFBB show. Like he was in tip-top shape. Everything was great. Like we didn't change anything. He just kind of dieted into the show. We got there on the day. Low food, low water, a little bit of a carb pump up. That was it on stage. And we're sitting there watching these guys. He had a full tube of Colgate toothpaste, like squeezing it into his mouth, trying to eat it and not having any water because that's what you're supposed to do, not drink water. And we're sitting there like, bro, like what are you going to get from toothpaste other than an upset stomach? Like,
I feel like he's just going to get mad bloated. Surely.
Or have good breath. I don't know. Like, like that was the most cooked one so far.
That's hilarious, bro. Yeah, because I've heard of people like shots of vodka, like all types of things to try and lean them out. But toothpaste, that's a newie that.
Yeah, and like just weird, like, again, it's like bullshit bro law that just gets passed down. And it's like, you know, you have to have McDonald's chips before you get on stage. It's like, well, no, you don't. Like you can just have some carbs and a little bit of sodium because you can manage that.
Yeah.
Like people get this weird thing in their head that like peak week, they need to just do some drastic, crazy shit to look better. It's like most of the time that doesn't pay off. It's like a Hail Mary pass. You know, sometimes it works, majority of the time it doesn't. So like manage your outcomes. Don't just randomly change things the last minute because you think it's going to work because someone told you to do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's think like if you're prepping and you've sort of obviously been on the same path and then to throw a complete spanner in the work, I wouldn't do it just because I just don't know what's going to do to my body, like especially that far out.
We have no idea, and that's I think the beauty of longer prep as well. You have the opportunity to to do like a mock peak week or a mini peak week.
Yep.
Where you say like, all right, we know that you're going to look better if we dissipate fatigue, if we replenish glycogen. Those are the obvious answers. So how do we do that? Let's bring training volume down. Let's eat some more food, maybe maintenance calories, push carbs up. So you can kind of look and say, all right, I know now that works around these levels. I know that these types of food choices work well for you. Let's do that on the day because we know what the outcome is.
Yep.
If I said, let's diet into the show and then I want you to eat some toothpaste and some Macca's chips, who knows what's going to fucking happen? Who knows?
Oh, bro. I could just imagine the guy driving on the way to the show. Yeah, man, we've got to stop off and get some toothpaste and some Macca's chips. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
They walk in and you're just like, oh my God, all right, cool, man. You're in the corner. Do your thing.
just smashing him. Like, that's hilarious, bro. All right, man, we're going to stick around. We've got TikTok reactions. Now, me and Jay did this. I'm really keen to see your reactions more importantly, but there's some doozies in there. These TikTok videos they never cease to impress. You know what I mean? They never cease to impress me.
Are we going to check out the one where the guy threw the weight plate on the other guy's head? You see that one?
I have seen that. I wasn't able to get it up. I was literally just looking at it like half an hour before. I followed that More Plates, More Dates. He did a thing on it. I'm going to watch it after.
So bad.
Crazy, bro. Crazy. Yeah, so we're going to get into this, guys.
Age and you start taking pre-workout. If you're 13 or younger, you don't need pre-workout. It's not necessary. If you're 14 or older, you can start experimenting with taking pre-workout. Just make sure you don't go overboard with it. Start slow. You don't have to take the full scoop. You want to take as little as possible to get a good workout in because you don't want to build up your tolerance too fast. Keep that caffeine intake under 200 milligrams a day ideally, but if you really want to push it, don't go over 400 milligrams a day. So, pre-workout for teens is completely fine in moderation. And that's...
Oh, cut out at the best part.
What is he going to say?
I mean, clearly all of that information was based on really sound science, some really good research papers, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's like in the links down below.
Yeah, PubMed, all that stuff. Fuck.
Bro. So like... To put it in perspective, I was actually looking up before.
Yeah.
I think from what I can find, it was 60 to 100 grams or milligrams, of caffeine in a cup of coffee.
Yes.
So effectively, he's saying that on the high range, a 14-year-old can drink 4 cups of coffee.
Easy work.
Bro, what in this world is it safe for a 14-year-old? Plus, like, bro, if a 14-year-old doesn't have the energy to train or like do things...
You've got some serious problems.
Yeah. Bro, that's the only thing I think Jay put up the other day is like my favorite childhood memory was having energy.
When I could stand up.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, what is the difference? Like, you're 13 years old and you go, oh, I'm 14 now. Fuck yeah, pre-workout. Like,
We're on.
it makes no difference. But clearly, like, if you have to rely on like supplements or stimulants, exactly like you said, to go and train, you got bigger problems. That's fucked.
It's absolutely fucked, man. And like some poor 14-year-olds just sitting there probably going, oh, yeah, he said he's got a mad body. He said it's all right. And
Yeah. And unfortunately, that's a lot of the fitness industry bullshit now. It sells. He probably makes shitloads of money from it. Oh, and if you want to use pre-workout, use my discount code.
Yeah. He's probably got his own pre-workout or whatever, and he's pumping it out there.
So it's dangerous. Like, I don't know. I mean, we're pretty similar in age. You would have used all the fucking crazy pre-workouts.
Yeah.
You know.
We've definitely had to crack. I've dabbled in when the Jax was out and all that shit, Jax 3D or whatever it was.
But the reason they banned it is because so many kids died. They take it and go to a music festival and then drink or do drugs on top of it.
Yeah.
And have a heart attack.
So
it's like, man, like, and it's unfortunate that it's so boring. Like, you know, simple stuff doesn't sell like sexy stuff does. So it's like common sense. You don't need a pre-workout at all, ever.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's kind of where
Let's go to number 2.
Underrated workout to build those shoulders. I do these every day. What you want to do is get that dumbbell, grip it like this, and do front raises just like that. It also works your chest because you got to grip it and compress that dumbbell. If you want to know how I got shredded without any cardio, check the link in bio. Follow for more tips, King. Let's get shredded together.
I love this guy. I'm going to follow him.
He's got some doozies. He seems to be a common trend at the moment, doesn't it?
That's unreal.
Like, could you imagine just like saying to Jay, hey, I got the fucking, this is how you are going to look good on stage, right? You're going to do front raises holding a dumbbell. It's going to get chest and fucking shoulders.
Like, it makes, like, again, like, unfortunately, the majority of people that watch this are stupid. And they go, oh my God, look at that guy shredded. Like, whatever he's saying or selling, I'm going to do or buy. Like, it's a fucking dumbbell front raise. Like, most people don't even need to do that because your anterior delts get worked so much doing every single fucking press exercise you do in the gym.
Yeah.
And B, it doesn't work your chest. It's gravity. You have to use your delts to lift it, so it does fucking nothing for your chest.
There's a slight press activation, but that's not going to fucking grow your chest.
Absolutely not. Gravity's working against you.
It's just like, man, I hate when people say like, I know it's catchy, and I know, like, as you said, sex sells, but at the end of the day, there's no one exercise that's going to grow this or grow that or fucking boulder shoulders or whatever it is. Bro, we both know it's progressive overload.
Maybe this is a content idea for me. I'm going to do exactly that and say, you want to boulder shoulders? Check this out. Train for the next 12 years of using progressive overload.
That's the thing, bro. That's the thing. Right, because it's, fucking sex sells. This is bullshit.
That's it. We quit.
I'm out. Fuck, I'm gone.
Face fat, chew gum, eat more fiber, exercise, drink water, face massages. Fuck yeah. Not enough time to read the text.
So I'll leave the text up when I do it for the actual video, but just to give you a bit of context, this has had like 5 million views.
Was everyone in the comment just bashing her?
I don't know, potentially. I actually didn't get to the comments. I seen the 5 million views and I was contemplating just jumping off a bridge.
Yeah. I wonder if she discloses how much money she made from that.
So pretty much, to wrap it up, it was like, what was it? To get an hourglass figure, you got to do jumping jacks. And then to get a big booty, you need to be doing 25 squats.
Yeah. And to get a slimmer face, you got to do face massages.
And chew gum.
Chew gum. Yeah, wow.
It works, guys.
Hit the link in my bio. Use code Kyle10. What the fuck? Like, and again, like, I feel like this is like the whole generation now of people coming up that like this is their, level of knowledge or education, just like what stupid people kind of promote to them. Like, on what planet does it even make sense? To lose fat, you have to eat less food, and exercise. I understand you're posting a workout routine or something, but like, there's no context to it. It doesn't give you an hourglass fit. Shut up. It doesn't have any specific outcome. Yeah, it's an exercise routine. Cool. Like, does it do anything? Maybe if you don't do any exercise, but it's not going to give you an hourglass physique or fucking make your face slimmer.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
25 squats is not going to build you a fucking booty.
Nothing.
It's going to do absolutely nothing.
Well, especially body weight too. And this is like the whole fitness influencer thing is body weight workout. Yeah, cool. It works maybe once, but then how do you get harder than body weight unless you add load? You can't.
There's no way to progress.
You can't progress. You do more reps, or you're going to sit there for 4 hours and just do body weight reps. It's just not productive. Yeah, sad.
But it is kind of sad, man. And then you got things like people wanting the slim fat face, and it's like to get clearer skin. It was like eat bananas and shit. And it's like, what is the fucking research for this stuff? It's like clearer skin's got nothing really to do with eating bananas. It's more got to do with hormones. Really, if you've got really bad skin, it's mostly to do with hormones, and bananas ain't going to do fucking shit for your hormones.
Yeah. I mean, it's usually a combination of, hormones and oxidative stress. Okay, well, how do you fix that? Not with fucking bananas or chewing gum.
Bananas.
Bananas, definitely. It's bad.
Want to lose weight? Bananas.
Definitely. 25 bananas a day.
Hourglass figure, bananas.
Oh, it hurts my head.
It does. But, yeah. But the sad thing is, it's one of my favorite pastimes to just going through and just watching stupid shit. And all I'm doing is just adding to their fucking views. It's a vicious cycle.
I know. You sit there and you're like, you're an idiot. And they're like, oh, I got more views. Thank you.
Yeah, because 100% the algorithm's just going, this guy spent, he watched this 4 times. Yeah. Really, I was going, nah, I can't say that.
Surely.
What are you, nah. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's oh, he watched it 4 times. He must love it. Put it out to everyone. And I'm like, God.
But I think that, that's kind of the TikTok world now is because it is so just scroll and grabby, quick information, that's kind of what it breeds. So anyone that had any dignity in actually giving good information is just now it doesn't get views. So I'm going to do the thing that gets views, AKA Liver King, who flies around a private jet. Clearly you're full of shit.
Lives in an absolute mansion. Have you seen his gym too? It's fucking mad setup.
What planet is this guy on? But again, it gets views, and that's how they make a living. So they stop.
Yeah, it's more about characters, isn't it? Rather than actually educating people.
Nah, education doesn't make money.
Yeah,
stupid, crazy shit does.
Yeah,
because now he sells a whole supplement line of bull testicles and beef liver.
And the craziest thing to me is people saying all this stuff and making up all this crap, and it's like how long probably has bodybuilding been around for?
Hundreds of years.
Exactly. So we've pretty much had this. It's like an ongoing study for the last 100 years of people dieting, prepping, building muscle, trying to get in the best shape. Now you don't have to obviously go to the extreme of a pro bodybuilder, but you have to fucking work pretty hard to be able to do that anyway.
Yes.
But it's you have the perfect model to be able to do it.
Yeah, but everyone, and now even more so, everyone wants the quick fix. Oh, I'll just take a tablet. Surely there's a supplement I can take, or this, workout routines. Well, it's not. And that's what we said. Sex sells, so it's sell the bullshit thing, sell the supplement, give them the Band-Aid solution to their problem, and then we just end up in this vicious cycle of not getting results, spending money on bullshit, and it just
on to the next influencer, and you get that shit done.
It really does, unfortunately.
I don't know. We don't have the answers, guys. As I said before, we're probably going to quit.
After this podcast, we'll quit.
All right, guys. As I said, thank you, Kyle, for coming on.
Always a pleasure.
Also, give him a quick plug of your Instagram and stuff like that if they haven't seen the last one.
Yeah, I'm everywhere. All my socials are just at Kyle Radger or /Kyle Radger. So KYLRAGGIO.
Beautiful, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, do all those good things. If you enjoyed the podcast as well, make sure you share it around. We want to get the views out. But till next time, cheers, thanks.